Hello, welcome back to An All About the Mouse. So this time, what you're seeing up in the upper right-hand corner is the challenge. It's a bingo board with some puzzle pieces. And what I took away from that is two things. I'm going to do a very grid-like layout. I'm going to use this background paper that is a bunch of squares. And I also took from it characters. So I'm going to do these two pictures of us with some characters from the PIXAR event at the Connecticut Science Museum. They had the science behind PIXAR, talking about all of the STEM kind of career that go into being an animator and taking the drawings into the computer and then taking those and animating them and putting them on the screen. And it was a really cool kind of exhibit that they had at the Science Museum. So we did that in Connecticut. And these are the two pictures from my parents and Belle and John and I with some PIXAR characters they had set up there at the Science Center. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using the Reasons to Smile collection from Chamel. And with that, we'll get started. And it didn't turn out as much of a grid as I thought it was going to, but we're just going to count the fact that we have some vertical and horizontal lines as kind of matching the bingo board feel of it. But really what I took from this was the characters. That was what I was kind of going for. So the first thing I did was cut these pictures, trim them, and I realized that the white border on one of them wasn't great. The Reason to Smile collection really sings animation. It has that kind of a feel to it. This one piece of dark blue paper, I think, was actually from Main Character Energy and not from Reasons to Smile, but I had it in my Chamel collection. So now what I'm doing is backing both the photos and this really cool magenta paper, kind of a polka dot. On the back of it, it has a bunch of cameras that I thought I might cut apart, but I haven't. I really, as I was using this collection today, I realized I need to go through the ephemera for this collection and really weed it out. There's a lot of ephemera in here that, quite frankly, I'm just not going to use. So what I need to do is get it to the point where I can go through the ephemera and use it a little bit more easily. There's so much stuff in this collection. I almost wish they would stop giving us so much stuff. I would prefer to have a little bit less and have it be more that we could use it up. Because now when I purchase these collections, I get so much stuff. But anyway, that's a complete tangent. I ended up putting the pictures too high so that I had more space on the bottom than the top. So once again, I thought I would have the cute letters on the top, like the bingo, and I'm putting them on the bottom. I really do like them on the bottom, so I was happy with that. And I am still, if you're taking inspiration from the prompt, so I really feel like I did that. PIXAR STEM is what I called this, and I used the letters from the Reasons to Smile collection. Now I'm going to go through the ephemera, and like I said, there's a papery box, there's 2 or 3 different packages of ephemera, so I'm just trying to pick out the ones that I can use. I ended up using that backpack because it was kind of going to school there, Monsters University. I thought that was fun. I am trying to use some of these words. So I'm using the word cute on a flower. I ended up going through here and pulling out just a few more things. There's a lot of cute backpacks, actually. Try to put a star with each one of my embellishment clusters. The cameras were just too big for what I have going on here. And I really did want to use the backpack because I thought I'm not going to get a lot of other time to use the backpack. So for me, that was super important, is to use the backpack this time while I could. As you keep going through it, you'll see I just kind of dug through. There's so much fun in this collection. And in fact, later this week, you're going to see another page from me. I believe it'll go up on Thursday, and I use this collection again. And I just haven't been using it because I kind of honestly forgot about it a little bit. But as I'm digging through it, it's a lot of fun to use. So if you have it, you're probably like me and you're like, I haven't used it in a while and I wonder why. But I got it out and I've used it now twice and I'm really enjoying it. So this is me looking for a tag that I can use for my journaling. I finally decide on this kind of light blue one, and I'm going to move my embellishment clusters around to kind of make them go from the top left to the bottom right and have my journaling there next to me. I put the star on that one. So I really enjoy how that's looking. I'm going to go ahead and tape down all of my embellishments now. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is, my year 2 of doing these all about the mouse, and I have so many Disney pictures that it seems like you can do them, but some of the challenges are more challenging than others, and this was one that I wasn't sure how I was going to approach it. And I do like the look of finding the different character photos and including that and kind of having kind of just a grid. I've got really, more of a vertical horizontal grid approach to this page particularly with the background paper. So that's how I approach this. If you end up doing something different, I'd love to know in the comments. You're seeing me write my journaling. I'm trying to include more journaling on pages this year as well. I think that's important, particularly stories like this, because we do go to Disney a lot, and I might look back and not remember what this was. So I want to go ahead and include the fact that it was at the Connecticut Science Museum. It was one of those things that they went through every one of the phases of showing you how something comes from a drawing into a movie. Lots of fun. Highly recommend if it comes to a city near you. Use a couple of the stickers, word stickers, and now I'm going to go through and use a couple of these stickers. I think I use a notebook and maybe a camera. Yep, there's a little camera because those big cameras in the ephemera were just a little too much. And I use a couple of notebooks. Once again, just because this is school related, I can get away with that here. And I am loving how this turns out. Now, there were enamel dots that came with this collection, but they were super iridescent. That's not what I wanted. So you're going to see I'm going to go to my enamel dot collection, and I'm going to pull out a bunch of my enamel dots. Well, first, apparently, I'm going to clean up all of the ephemera, something I usually don't have on camera, but I'm moving it around. Let's see if I'm going to bring over these enamel dots. So I bring over the enamel dots and kind of try to find some that work. So I have just stored my enamel dots by just in one big container so that I don't lose them. And these enamel dots, I think they were from a Close to My Heart collection, end up having all the right colors. So I'm going to put 3 enamel dots in 3 different places, and that's going to be the end of the layout. I hope you're enjoying all of these pages. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like and a comment. I'd love to know what you are scrapbooking. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Here's a close-up of the page. Bye.